Hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? I'm Dr. Doug Vaughn, world famous bariatric surgeon. That's my medical school diploma. I'm an MD. I'm not a PhD. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm not a dentist doctor. I'm an MD. Notably, I'm a bariatric surgeon. So this is actually my surgical diploma right there, my general surgery residency diploma. I finished in 2005. That's important. You might recognize me from my earlier coronavirus videos on how coronavirus kills you. So today we're going to talk about this new Pfizer announcement. Why is a bariatric surgeon talking about coronavirus? It's because the #1 risk factor for poor outcomes with coronavirus, with COVID, is actually obesity. It's not important. Diabetes, high blood pressure, those are important, but your #1 risk factor is obesity. And so that's why I talk about it. Yeah. Pfizer had a very promising, exciting announcement about their vaccine today that I think a lot of people are taking it wrong. They are assuming certain things about the announcement, like such as it was a entire political conspiracy, an election conspiracy, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what the study really means. It's an interim report, and how long can you really expect to have until you have a vaccine. So do me a favor, hit share while we're not your friend share, not Sunny and share, but the share button, the like button. I appreciate that too. We're going to talk about the science. We're going to keep politics out of it, other than just to update you on. And again, I'm not political. I don't really care how you vote, red or blue, whatever. And it doesn't really matter. But we're just going to talk about the science behind it, and I'll just give you some updates there. So I got Pam Gerby watching from the UK. Look at this. Ontario, Canada. Catherine Payne is in the house. Nevada is in the house. Maryland's watching from YouTube here. All right. Let's see who else is here. Matt Sims is a longtime follower and watcher. Some 1+ for science. That's right. Aisha up there in Chicago. Hope you're doing your COVID test, doing well. I'm also going to test myself for COVID today using one of my test kits. I'll show you how that works, the rapid test kits, and how you can get a hold of them too. If you want some, you can just message me. Carolyn Saunders is watching from Australia. Nice profile pic. Appreciate that. Detroit's in the house. Stay safe there. Elizabeth, what's up, Elizabeth? Just joined my challenge today. Heat 2 Johnson, Washington, D.C. You're about to have super spreader event here in January. Missouri's in the house. What's up? Virginia's in the house. Julie, Castle Pines, Colorado. Florida. Florida recorded their highest level of cases in one day ever today. So you got to watch out here. Nikki, the test kits are great. Thank you, Nikki. She ordered some from me. Alan, UCSD. What's up, brother? What do you do there? You doctor? Ian from Canada. Man, Canada numbers are going up. All the numbers are going up. My girl Jane Ross is in Australia watching. Texas in the house. Wendy Good is in Alabama. What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for hitting share, the share button. Oh, Jatina Jeter, how you been, girl? What's up, Jatina? Hope you're doing good. How do you get a test kit? I'll tell you that here in a second. All right. California's in the house. It's crazy. El Paso is super hot. Not good. So let me give you, while we're waiting. Oh, I see somebody from France. We got to talk about France real quick here. And so Biasotto from France. France is obviously a terrible hotspot. They got over 50,000 cases in a day. That's nothing compared to the 111,000 average that the U.S. is doing, but their death rates are also going up to about 400 deaths a day, which is about half to where they were back in the spring. And I'll talk about Italy too here in a little bit. So stay safe for sure. Got your test in LA. What's up? Need some help selling from Side Hustle. All right. I would just do a testimonial, man. Karen Potts in Toronto. Yep. Danielle is again on lockdown UK. I think you guys are about 3 weeks too late, but hopefully you can get it under control. New York State, Lisa, we're going to talk about New York tonight. It's getting hot. Costa Rica. I might move to Costa Rica, quite honestly. Denver is also a hot spot. You're totally right. Chicago, anybody up in Chicago? Aisha was up in Chicago. Total hotspot. Ireland, you're getting a little blow off from UK, but you're doing okay. All right. How often should you get tested, man? I test myself every 2 weeks minimum. But I'm also, go out pretty actively. I face mask, I social distance, all that sort of stuff. Amy Cakebread, absolutely right. Iowa is a hot spot. LA numbers are going back up. Chicago's in the house there. Julie, be safe. Chicago recorded over 4,000 cases a day. That's crazy in one city. That's never been that high. My girl Yolanda Miles is watching from New Mexico. And I'm going to tell you, New Mexico made national news on NBC because they had a 250% increase. It's really getting crazy. Louisiana's in the house. All right, so I'm going to test myself. But today I'm going to talk about the vaccine. And it has something to do with why I'm testing myself too. So I have a 4-year-old daughter named Mason, and this week she got a cold, and I knew it was a cold. I could tell. I mean, she had fever, and later developed a cough, but she was a little congested, maybe a flu, but probably a cold. Watched her. She couldn't sleep, so her mom stayed with her. Her mom eventually started feeling not so good either. So they're both fine now. They got better, but her mom tested her with one of these COVID rapid tests. And I said, you don't need to test her. She's only 4, but moms, moms are very protective. And she tested herself as well as the 4-year-old. They're both negative. So I'm testing myself because I feel fine. But if you've been following me for a long time, you realize that I have seasonal allergies, and you can kind of hear it in my nose. I've had a little bit of cough. You can actually get allergies that drip. That's called postnasal drip, right? And you can get a cough. So, but with the baby being sick and everything like that, I just want to demonstrate, which is going to take me to another topic we're going to talk about, which is, and I'll do more videos, but why the fall is super dangerous. I did a video back in June that I was talking about the numbers in the fall, and we are not looking good, guys. We are not looking good because Anthony Fauci, Dr. Fauci, had said heading into fall, he'd like to see our numbers down to 10,000 here in the United States. And I said, 10,000, fuck, we'd be lucky if we got to 20,000. Because at that point we're on downstream. We're about 40,000 when he said that. And boy, did we disappoint. Not only did we not hit 10,000, not only did we not hit 20,000, we are worse than we've ever been. Our running 7-day average is 111,000 cases a day in the United States. It is really, really terrible. And people are still politicizing it. And we have a president-elect, and I know it's got to go through. We still have President Trump. They call it a lame duck president, but he's still our president, and he's going to do what he wants to do to contest it. But, Joe Biden has been called the president-elect, and I'm not being political. I'm just telling you, this is where we are, okay? So we've had some major announcements today. I'm going to test myself, and then I'll talk. I put together these home test kits, okay? And the funny thing is here's the thing that pisses me off. Listen to me. So for all summer long, you guys have thought that they've been shoving this stuff up people's noses in the White House. And I'm telling y'all, they're not shoving stuff up people's noses. That's not how they're doing it. They've got some sort of rapid test. They're doing a 10-minute rapid test. So they had some version of what I'm holding in my hand. I'm not saying they had the exact same version, but all summer long, in the people that are in the powers that be have some sort of test like this. Now, some people might be sitting there and going, well, yeah, but look what happened to the White House. It's a hot spot. Well, they didn't do all the other stuff. They didn't do all this other stuff like social distancing and wearing masks. And in fact, they laughed at it. So you need to do this in conjunction with social distancing, okay? But you need to know your status. And since we're coming up to Thanksgiving, you need to know the status of everybody who's going to come over. And we know now, we have good studies that show that it's small indoor events like Thanksgiving dinner that's going to fuck y'all up. Those are the super spread. Those are the spreader events, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Since the election, We've had over 600,000 cases, new coronavirus cases in America. And you can't tell me that some of that wasn't due to, rallies, okay, Halloween. It's not political. It's just you're being silly. Halloween parties that we've all seen videos and stuff up about. So I'm going to test myself. So I put together these test kits. I have a friend who said, hey, doc, man, I've got these test kits. I sell them to businesses. I have to get a nurse, but you're a doctor. And I was like, this needs to be a home test kit, because it's a finger prick. It tests for both IgG, IgM. It gives you 10-minute results. And there is no lab required. You don't send it out. You read the result like a pregnancy test, except you don't be pissing on my test, okay? Don't piss on the test. You're just kind of read the test, all right? So he does everything in these huge bulk numbers. So I separated everything out into what you need. I had this infographic made. So every test kit comes with the instructions on how to do it, right? What it is right there and how you read it. Like for dummies right there, 10-minute results. Okay, it tests for both IgG and IgM. So let's do it together real quick, and then I'll read the results in 10 minutes. Okay, so let me scoot this back. So if you order from me, just message me. Let me tell you how to, if you want to message me here. Just go to my Facebook page, my fan page. It's scrolling there at the bottom, facebook.com/Dr. Vong. Okay, so you're going to get this test kit. I'm going to test myself for you real quick here. And it's going to have everything you need. I put it all together. I knew what to order, right? First of all, you have gloves. If you're squeamish about a pinprick, someone else wants to test you, that's fine. I don't really use it, but you can use it. Here's the actual test right here. It is on the FDA Emergency Use Act. Here's your instructions that comes with the kit. All right, it comes with a Band-Aid, not that you really need it, alcohol swab, but here are the things that you absolutely got to have. This is the buffer solution, okay, that makes the test work. And here's the little finger prick. It's like checking your finger. If you are a diabetic or if you've ever done a finger prick stick, it's exactly the same thing. That's why when I saw this, I was like, this needs to be a home test kit, because that's how we're going to get through this. Then I had all the other stuff designed and made, right? So that's what's in the kit. I'm going to move down my screen down here. Hopefully I will. There we go. Can y'all see that? Okay. So what I do is I open up the Band-Aid first. Not that you need it, but I like to open it up there. Okay, I'm going to test myself here real quick. I open up my alcohol. Oops, right there. Right there. Okay. All right. I get all my solution down. Okay. Now here's the test kit. Now there is no FDA approved COVID test. They are all on the Emergency Use Act. All right. That's the first thing you have to know. And this test is on the Emergency Use Act. It has a 95% accuracy rate. 95% accuracy rate. The nasal, the stuff you put up your nose, if you're lucky, it's 70% accurate. It's more sensitive, so it'll pick up the virus sooner than this test, but this test is more accurate, okay? And it will pick up for active infection too. So when you open it, you're gonna see in here, here's the test. It's gonna look like that, all right? So we'll put that down here. And it will also have a pipette in here. I like this test because it has this pipette. And you can use this pipette to kind of suck up blood, but I use it for the buffer. Right? So I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to put my pipette in here, and I'm going to squeeze the bulb, suck up all of that fluid, suck up all that buffer. You see it's all sucked up in there? All right. And then I'm just set it down. Take my alcohol swab and decide which finger you're going to use. I'm going to use my middle finger, not because I'm trying to tell you it's post-election, right? But because I've been using this little finger here. And if you have a callus, you want to go off to the side a little bit. So I'm just going to go off to the side right here a little bit. If you have callus from hard work or playing guitar or whatever stuff. So here's the lancet. This is called a lancet. It'll look something like this. Might not be this exact one. You take off the lid, right? The needle is in here. It's a tiny little prick. You're just going to put it down and you're just going to press it. Just press down. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And then you see the blood coming. It does not hurt. It's like just a little prick. I mean, that's it. Okay. And you want to get a nice drop of blood here. All right. And then this has 2 wells in it. You want to use the top square one. All right, so I'm going to literally just take my finger and swipe my blood down in there like that. Boom, just got it in there. First try. Good job, DRV. Okay, now with this, if you have some blood going, I just take an alcohol swab there. But you see, it's already stopped bleeding. It's such a tiny prick, you don't really feel it. And then if you want a little Band-Aid because you want to show your, your wifey or somebody that you're tough, you can do that. Now, what I'm going to do is just take this buffer, okay, and I'm going to drop it in the bottom well. So the round well is the buffer, and I'm going to drop most of it in there. We say 2 big drops, but I find people have not been using enough of it. And now, if your blood is not in this buffer well enough, the top well, you can also put a couple of drops up there and then just help it down, okay? You don't have to do that second step, but if you're having trouble, if it's caught along the side, you can drop some buffer. That's it. Set the alarm. Now look, I'm going to set the timer. Now look, I want you to watch that. You see the buffer is making its way up. So what it's going to do is it's going to change that blue line to pink. And once it changes the blue line to pink, that means you have a valid test. Then you read the results in 10 minutes. If this line does not turn pink within 2 to 3 minutes, you need more buffer. Put more buffer. All right. It has an IgG that tests for old past infection, and IgM right here. The M stands for IgM. That will test for active infection. So I'm going to put this away, and I got the timer going. And that's it, guys. And I'm going to read the results. You don't send it to a lab. You don't send it to, you don't have to have any special equipment. You're just going to read it like a pregnancy test. Okay, the lines turned pink right there. See it? It's already started turning pink. So you know it's going to be a valid test so far. And I made this reading sheet for you, and you just basically going to read all this stuff along here. What you want to see is the negative. Just all you want to see is the control line, not the IgM or the IgG. Okay. All right. So I'll give you the results in 10 minutes. Pretty cool, right? And I'm telling you, all the famous people, all of the politicians, they've had some sort of rapid test this whole fucking time, right? So now it's starting to become available. Costco is selling these for $130. But they're doing the saliva antigen test. You still have to send it to a lab. It takes 2 days to get there. Take 2 days to get back to you. That's 4-day turnaround. No test is going to be helpful in 4 days. Okay. So this test for both antibodies, IgM, IgG. So Costco's is $130 plus you got to mail it in, right? We sell these for $500. So it's $100 each, 5 for $500. But I've got a special. Okay. I was selling these at $50 each, minimum order of 40. That's a $2,000 investment. This week, because I want y'all to be safe for Thanksgiving. I want you to be safe for the holidays. Here, go to facebook.com/Dr. Vong. If you order tonight, I'll drop that amount down to 20 tests. I'll give you the price break at 20 tests for $50 each. So that's only $1,000 for 20 tests as opposed to $2,000 for 40. Does that make sense? Plus shipping. And just message me. What I want you to do is message me the number 20 tests, so I know that it's a 20 test investment. Message me 20 tests for $1,000, so I know it's $50. It's so cheap. You get the results right away compared to Costco or anything else, or your doctor. If your doctor, if your insurance or whatever does it for free, or if you want to sit in a car, or if you want to do all that sort of stuff, you do that stuff. But for me, not me. All right. So I am going to talk about tonight. All right. Hi there, I'm Dr. Duckville, world famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. Here's my med school diploma right there. And here is my general surgery residency diploma. I finished in 2005. Tonight, we're going to talk about the announcement from Pfizer about their vaccine, okay, that's coming out. First of all, I want to make this very, very clear. I love y'all, but y'all need to know this is not an election. Okay. So if you think that somehow this is where did it go? Here we go. If you think this is an election conspiracy, you're some sort of special. Seriously. Because it's not. We have been expecting this announcement. The doctors, the healthcare professionals, Pfizer has been saying that they were going to release some data, a report mid-November. They were trying to be aggressive and say early November, and that's where Trump started saying about, oh, around the election time. Dude, it's an interim report. Right? We've been expecting this. This is not a conspiracy. So that's the first thing you should know. Number two, this is okay. It's kind of like how you got to give updates. If you're working on a project, you got to give your boss an update. This is basically an interim report. They're only giving you an update on what's happening with their vaccine. The vaccine is not ready. It's not coming out. It's not political. You still have to face mask. You still have to social distance. You still have to wash your fucking hands. You know, this is, stop celebrating. Stop saying that, stop politicizing it. Stop saying, oh, see, look, it's because of the election. It's because of this. And Trump was right. Trump was, come on. We're just talking, we expected this, guys. This is an interim report. And what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing more interim reports because there's more than one vaccine. You guys understand that, right? I think there's like 5 or 6 active trials that are going on. Pfizer is furthest. There's Gilead. There's Johnson & Johnson. You know, there's lots of vaccine trials out there, okay? So you're going to get more of these reports. The idea is to know what you're freaking talking about so you know how to share it and not get emotional about it. Okay, so this is just an early interim report. What I want to do is share with you my screen real quick and pull up the press release. Okay, so hang tight with me here. Let me share my screen with you. And we're going to talk about this report. Okay, so here's the report. If you just Google it, and this is from the Pfizer webpage, so we know, okay, they're releasing this announcement. And the top line, obviously, they're going to lead with the good news. It's 90% effective preventing COVID-19 participants. We're going to talk about that here in a second, okay? They had 94 confirmed cases. Out of 43,538 participants, they had 94 confirmed cases, okay? But their goal is to get to 164, right? So there's a couple of things I want to talk about this. Again, I'm going to say that this is an interim, you guys see it right here, interim efficacy analysis conducted on November 8th. It's an interim efficacy analysis just to see how good it is. See, the first set of results from our phase 3 trial, and the other thing you have to know is they actually haven't released the numbers. They're only releasing a press release. So the doctors, the statisticians, the epidemiologists, they haven't had a chance to actually look at the report, actually look at the numbers. They're just like you and me reading the results of the press release. That's all they're doing. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing because there's really nothing super important with that press release. So let's go back so I can type here. All right. So 43. So over 43,000 participants. All right, and about 94 positive cases. So this is one of the interesting things about a vaccine. The way they're conducting this trial is they're inoculating people in the trial, and they're giving another one placebo, and they go forward and they tell them to wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, all that sort of stuff. And then you have to wait and see who catches the virus and who doesn't. So you have to think about this, right? Because you're telling them, you're trying to test the efficacy of this vaccine, but you're telling them to take precautions to not catch it, right? Which is important. You have to do that. And so participants are being cautious. They're not like, or they're supposed to be cautious. They're not like going to rallies and parties. They're not supposed to be. And then you have to wait for enough people to catch the virus and then compare the data. So they had, I forgot what was the number, 94 cases. They looked at it. And a couple of things that you have to understand. Let me talk about this vaccine, number 3. Okay, Pfizer, and I'm just going to say we're just talking about the Pfizer vaccine tonight because they're different. They're all different. Pfizer vax is mRNA and double dose. This is important. Okay. I'm going to get into the science a little bit here. So the Pfizer vaccine is an mRNA vaccine, and it's a double dose vaccine. So let's talk about the mRNA first. So you know DNA is a double helix. Think back to biology, right? And when it replicates or makes mRNA, stands for messenger RNA, and this actually targets the messenger RNA that creates the spike protein. The spike protein is the protein that binds to your pneumocytes that gets into your lungs. So it's blocking the production of that spike protein. So it's a very smart way to attack this virus. Okay. Now, obviously, if that part of the vaccine, if that part of the virus is malfunctioning, is not working right, didn't get transcribed right, then obviously it can't enter your cells and cause damage. Okay. And eventually the virus will get cleared by your body. Okay, other immune systems. So it's an actual messenger RNA. It's not. There are other vaccines where you can have an attenuated vaccine, so you can get the actual virus and then just knock out the virulence of it by doing some other things to the actual virus. That's kind of dangerous because we don't know what we're dealing with here with the coronavirus. There's also DNA vaccines. And oddly, a lot of the coronavirus, it's a family of viruses. So we actually have the genetic sequence for SARS-CoV-2, but you don't have to. And actually, some vaccines are using viruses from other viruses and not the actual SARS-CoV-2. So that's why we have to test for this, right? But this Pfizer vaccine actually happens to be an mRNA vaccine. But here's the key. It's a double dose vaccine. Okay, so you take it day 1, you get a dose. And then I think 3 weeks later, you get a second dose, because today's report is looking at 7 days after the second dose, which is the 28-day number you get. Okay, I could be wrong on that. They weren't very clear, but I think that's the case. I don't think the second dose is 28 days and then a week after that. Regardless, it's going to be about a month total from your initial inoculation. So number one thing you have to know that in order for this vaccine to work, you have to have both doses. Now, I know we are all human and we're flawed. When this comes out, not everybody's going to get that second dose, are they? Some people are going to get busy, moved, lost their insurance. Oh, I forgot, couldn't find a babysitter, all sorts of reasons. So we just know, because there are some doses, like the hepatitis dose, for example, vaccine, you have to have 2 doses. So there are just going to be some people who don't get that second dose. So I expect that number, that 90% efficacy rate, to drop. Okay. So number 4, expect the 90%. Okay, as this goes out, so the next phase of the next report they're going to release is looking at 2 weeks. What happens 2 weeks after the second dose? All right. So I would expect some of this efficacy to decrease. Now, if you're in a trial and you are enrolled and you might or might not be paid, but your dosing is free, then, and you have people calling you, people reminding you, so you're pretty much going to get your second dose. We've talked about that. And we were hoping that we could get anywhere between 60 to 70%. Most of the doctors were going to get 70%. Now, put a note in the comment section if you did not know. Check this shit out. In order for the coronavirus vaccine to be approved, it only has to be 50% effective. 50. Put a no in the comment section if you did not know that it only had to be 50% effective. It's a coin toss. It is 1 out of 2. In order for a vaccine to be proven, it only has to be 50% effective. Oh gosh, I went over time. Drum roll. Who wants to see my results? COVID rapid test. Boom, baby. Dr. V's negative. See, only 1 red line. Okay. So message me, Dr. Vong, facebook.com/Dr. Vong, if you're interested in getting one of my test kits. Right now I'm doing a special. These normally go for five for $500, 5 for $500, so 100 each. But tonight, and in the past, I've done these $50 each, minimum order of 40. Because of it's Thanksgiving, because people are trying to get together, because people haven't been working, I've dropped, right now, tonight, I've dropped the minimum requirement to 20 tests. So you can get 20 tests, $50 each. That's a $1,000 investment, and keep everybody safe. 10-minute results. I just did it right here. Just got my results. You read it like a pregnancy test. Okay, so just message me on facebook.com. Just put 20 for $1,000 special, so I know you know the price. I've spent a lot of days like trying to chase down people who are like, oh, I can't afford that. I'm like, well, I've been telling you the price. Okay, anyway, you can get a group of people together. I don't really care, you know. Okay, so I totally forgot what I was saying because I had to look at that. 95% accurate. It's on the FDA EUA list. You don't send it to the lab. 10-minute results. 95% accurate. The nasal one's only 70% accurate. Okay. Oh no. Okay, I remember what I was talking about now. Okay. In order for a vaccine to be approved, it only has to be 50% effective. So today's news that this vaccine from Pfizer is 90% effective is very good. But again, the doctors have not, the scientists and epidemiologists have not reviewed the numbers or the report. We only see the press release. They've only seen the press release, just like you guys have access to the press release. So I think most doctors will still be very happy if that 90% drops down to like 70%. Okay, 70%. And so 90% is good, but expect that number to go down. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here's the timeline, because some people are like, hey, this is an election thing. See, I told you Trump was right. It was going to be all up. No, listen, fucker. We're at 111,000 cases a day average here in America. It's not going away. That's a special type of stupid, people who think that way, right? Okay, so here's the timeline. They are hoping the 3rd week of November to have the second, the 14-day report, and then they're going to apply to the FDA EUA, Emergency Use Act list approval, so they can get emergency use approved. And then once that will take the process, because that they have to I'm sure they probably have most of that already ready to go. And then that has to go before the FDA and then the regulatory boards, the review board, blah, blah, and then they make a recommendation, okay? Then they have to ramp up production. And now I know that there's this talk about Operation Warp Speed, and they're already starting to line up and da-da-da. But trust me, it's going to, this is not good, because this is actually in the press release, okay? So really, really, realistically, you're not going to see this vaccine at the earliest until April at the earliest. This vaccine might okay. There's more. Hold on. Don't go yet. Okay. So at the earliest, this vaccine might be out in April. Now they might produce some and try it out on a select few, like healthcare workers, frontline people, things like that. But regarding the first, first widely dispensed, it's looking like April. So we've got November to go down, December, January, February, March, April. We got another frickin' 6 months, guys. All right, and then it'll be widely available in, let's say, April, and then you got to take 2 doses of it, so that's May, and then you got to wait for the antibodies to form and to show that it's effective, right? So that's another 2 weeks. So you're really looking at middle May, June. Okay, now here's the kick. Here's the kick in the pants. Who wants the kick in the pants? Okay, the kick in the pants is this: how many doses are you going to have? Okay, 5, 6. Pfizer says, okay, and what I want to do is bring this up real quick. Where'd it go? Okay, I want to share my screen with you really quickly again. I want to go back to that report because it's hidden in the bottom of the press release. If you read down here, here's the actual press release, right? Based on, you guys see this sign? Based on current projections, we expect to produce globally up to 50 million vaccine doses in 2020 and up to 1.3 billion doses in 2021. Globally, 50 million. Okay. Now listen. Okay. Why is this important? Because let's do the math. In order for herd immunity to work, either there has to be people who caught it, which we're at 10 million positive cases in America now, and or they get vaccinated. We need a 70% rate. Okay, so we have 300, let's call it 350 million Americans, and this is just Americans, 350 million Americans, okay? And let's just say by next April, we have 20 million cases in America alone, okay? So I'm going to subtract 20 million minus 20 million, which you know is going to be 330 million. So that's 330 million people in America. Of those, 0.7% are going to have to get vaccinated to, 65 to 70%. We'll just call it, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll say 65%. For those people who don't think you need that much, I'll just say 65%. So 65% of 330 million is 214 million people. 214 million vaccines would have to be given for us to reach herd immunity. You guys understand what I'm saying? And Pfizer said 50 million doses globally. Globally. We're not going to be anywhere near the numbers, guys. Is this shocking? Please share this video if this is making sense to y'all. We're not anywhere near. It's going to be 2021 before we have any semblance of normalcy. And it's going to be a new normal. Does that make sense? Eye-opening to you guys? This is America alone, and Pfizer's talking about 50 million doses globally. Now, we got 7.5 billion people. I mean, the numbers are going to be mind-boggling. That's why we need more than one company who produces this vaccine. Okay, so I don't know. Someone asked this question. I don't know if a dose, because I can't find clarification on this. If a dose means like two, like including the booster, or if you actually, if that's really one dose and you have to get a second dose, right? So is it really double the number that we really need? I'm not sure. So if that's the case, we're really fucked, right? Now, here's number 7. And if you've been following me a long time, you know number 7 is always the catch, right? Number 7 is super important. And here's the big kick in the pants, man. This is where your girlfriend says, hey, I'm leaving you. I've been having an affair. And you go, what? You're leaving me? You had an affair? And the kick in the pants is, and it's your brother. You're like, what? It's my brother. And the kick in the pants is, the baby's not yours. What? The baby's not mine? You mean that half black kid is not mine? It's the kick in the pants. We don't know about lasting immunity. We might be putting too much emphasis on this vaccine or these vaccines, and we don't know how long it will last. We don't know if we're going to have to get a SARS-CoV-2 vaccine every year, or if it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime thing like chickenpox. Does that make sense? So you got to stay vigilant is my point, guys. You got to wear a mask. You got to social distance. If you are in my challenge, or if you've been following me for a long time, I've been telling you, if you're in a hot state and it's cold, you need to right now be wearing a face mask and a face shield when you go out. Face mask plus a face shield when you go out. I know you're going to think that's stupid. I know you're going to feel silly, but that's what you need. And if you are in a hot spot right now, like Chicago, 4,000 fucking cases a day, El Paso, Texas, ridiculous high numbers. It's 250 people per 100,000. It's one of the highest rates I've ever seen. New York City, you guys are back up to 1,000 cases a day up in New York City. Again, 1,000 cases a day, right? So it's coming. This is all the New Jersey stuff. This is all universities opening. This is Halloween. This is kids returning. Kids just went fucking trick-or-treating 9 days ago. Watch this. Comment if you've noticed since Halloween, you've had an outbreak of either in your school of either COVID or colds or flu-like symptoms. Because that's what happens right after Halloween. We know. Difference is now we have this this ugly monster at the party called COVID, called SARS-CoV-2, and we don't know. We can't tell. There's a lot of moms and dads at home that don't know if their kid has a common cold. Will it get better, or are they not going to make it through the night because it really isn't the common cold? It really was coronavirus. Like we just had like a kindergartner die here in Texas. And they went to see the doctor, and the doctor says, most likely this is a cold. Send him home. Tested positive for coronavirus and was dead the next morning. Now, those are rare cases. I understand. Those are rare cases. But my point is, we are at 111,000 fucking cases a day here in the United States, man. You're going to have this massive, massive dark winter, massive anxiety, massive amounts of frustration and anger and lashing out. We need to come together. We need to not politicize this, right? This is a good first step. What Pfizer released today was optimistic. It's good. It's good news. But we are nowhere near the end, guys. Even when you hear the press report that says, oh, yeah, we're hoping for FDA approval. We are going to have this vaccine by January. Think, what did I just show you? They globally, Pfizer hopes to have 50 million doses. It's nowhere near, globally, 50 million doses. It's nowhere near the numbers we need. We are going to be in this for a long, long time. You guys got to hunker down. You can't get frustrated. You can't start screaming and shouting, okay? We are all in this together. We have to be, right? That's my update for this Pfizer. I'm going to commit to doing more regular coronavirus updates because it's super important. President-elect Biden has announced a 12-member coronavirus advisory committee that has top-notch scientists, and we'll see what happens with that. But really, it starts with us, guys. It starts with us. No, it's the front line, the nurses, the doctors. No, remember what I tell you. Prayers and blessings to our nurses and doctors and nurse aides and even the lab techs, the pharmacy techs, the EMT, the firefighters, the first responders. But make it very clear. I want to be very clear about this. They are not the front line, guys. They are the back line. They are the defense. And we are the front line. You and me, everyday folks, we are the front line. This virus happens because of how we behave. We need to quit being mask holes. We need to quit politicizing it. We need to quit making being like a little bit of uncomfort. Come on, get over it. You'll be okay. Right? We need to social distance. We need to put off massive gatherings and go. I don't want to miss out. Go to bars and parties and Halloween parties. And it's so dumb, guys. We have to just adult up. It's only 1 year if we're lucky. We can get through this, but I'm telling you, what the doctors are not saying vehemently enough is that we are fucked. We are going to overrun the medical system. If you think this is bad, you just wait when you don't get the... And I'm very well aware people are dying because of heart attacks. Remember, go back to my early videos. Who remembers my early videos back in March and April when I said, listen, fuckers, COVID is a +1. Who remembers me saying that? You're still going to have car wrecks. You're still going to have abuse. You're still going to have gunshots. You're still going to have heart attacks and strokes and cancer diagnoses. And COVID is a +1 on the system. Who remembers that? Right? So now people are like, oh, the cure can't be worse than the disease. Fucker, I've been telling you that. Yes, I know. You don't have to sit there and tell me that, like, this is terrible. Like, yes, I've been saying this the whole fucking time, right? So the +1 analogy, exactly. I've been saying this from the beginning, all right? So I don't want you to get on my page and sit there and tell me that I'm fear-mongering or fuck you, dude. I'm trying to save your asses. It's like, oh, well, he's selling COVID tests. Well, where the fuck are you going to get COVID tests? I'm the only crazy motherfucker who's doing this because this is how we get through it, right? That's it. Okay. Prayers and blessings to everybody. If you would like a COVID rapid test, I put these kits together. I FedEx to me the next day. There are several people here watching that have ordered from me. And go to facebook.com/Dr. Vong and message me. I'm doing a special. Florida hit the most number of cases in one day, Peyton, on Sunday, yesterday, right? Michelle says, you've been right all along. Yes, right? The way we get over this is to test, isolate. You can isolate, stay at home. I got shit I want to do. I want to go out. But I test myself every 2 weeks. You just saw me test myself. I'm negative. My kid, my 4-year-old, had a cough. Her mother tested her. I didn't think she should be, but her mother tested herself. They're both negative. And I tested myself. I'm negative. Now I feel good. So I can go see my neighbors who I tested them. They're negative. All right. So when you message me, about the test, I want you to say the special. I've been saying $50 a test kit, minimum order 40. That's $2,000 investment, and I want you. I'm dropping it down to for the holidays for 20 test kits. Minimum order of 20, $50 each. That's only $1,000. Okay. Jillian, my next video will probably be tomorrow. You have to keep testing. You have to keep testing. Okay. That's how you do it. And I'm looking into an antigen test to see about positivity. Okay. There is you don't have to keep testing once you're positive. The current CDC guidelines is actually you just have to isolate for 14 days, 10 to 14 days, right? Now, if you retest, you should know, but we just don't, there is actually, once you test positive, all you got to do is isolate, because we think that the chances of you shedding virus is very low. It's not zero. See, it's playing with statistics. I would rather fucking know. I would rather know, right? Jillian, praying again for America. We will get through this, guys, right? We will get through this, okay? Okay. Love you guys. Be safe. I'm going to go eat dinner, and I'll edit this down and put it on my YouTube channel and the shorter version. So we'll see you then. See you tomorrow. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.